following broadcast is a presentation of iRacing Motorsport Simulations live on PTR TV. We'd like to thank all of our partners for their support.
He may get the run on the outside, off of the back straightaway. 26 and Hallmark trying to go 3 wide, no one's with them.
Talking and bobbing and weaving down the back straightaway, looking for a way around. The 5 machine trying to take a look underneath the 3 car. He's gonna dive it in down to the bottom. A huge move down to the bottom of the racetrack.
Back bumper. Can anything happen through the tri-oval? Walker Thomas to the inside. Here he comes to the outside. Side by side through the tri-oval. The 14. It's going to be a photo finish to the line. Who's going to get it? Walker Thomas.
Machine coming out of turn number 4. Tiller looking to go 3 wide, almost 4 wide. He's going to try to look for a gap. Bobbing and weaving for the lead down through the tri-oval.
Photo finish.
2 by 2. The 65 gets the win.
Welcome, race fans, back to Primetime Racing TV and tonight's coverage of the Hardline Racing League. It's the Midwest POWERSOURCE Cup Series. Tonight's action is from Sin City, Las Vegas Motor Speedway tonight for what'll be 100 laps, 150 miles around this racetrack. Calling the shots tonight is myself, Corey Silva. I got Evan Black in the booth with me. Evan, Cup Cars at Vegas, a very fun track, a very bumpy track. We should see a lot of multi-groove racing, and what else are you looking for tonight?
Well, it's going to be very slick out there. These drivers are going to be really struggling with grip out there on this track. It's a fairly old surface, and like you said, Corey, it is very bumpy. If you hit one of those bumps just the wrong way, you could very easily lose all your momentum or even end up in the wall.
Yeah, that is definitely something to watch out for. This track is also very abrasive on the tires, so that'll, again, add to the slipping and sliding that Evan was talking about. But right now we are on group qualifying, so about 2 minutes left in the session, and top of the board is Michael Femlison thus far. A little bit of a small field here tonight, so hopefully they can provide the action and have some tight times, as appear to be the case right now. See Femlison with a 29.388. Chuck Sweeting just behind him. Thomas Bressy, Bronson Stafford, Casey Shue, your top 5.
We're still waiting on about 3 guys now to qualify as Joshua Adams goes up to P2.
Josh Adams, 29.408, always a quick driver in the league. Shane Terrian, who has been the fastest driver really all season and most in victory lane of anybody else. He is just about to turn a lap, so see what he can do. While I talk about people in the stand where he's been all season, Shane Terrian has won 5 races this season. He has not run all the races though. He has 2 less starts this season than Thomas Bressy, which puts him 14 points behind. Bressy is leading obviously by those 14 points, and we have Joshua Adams, Brian LaPrade, and Tyler Hensley, the top 5, but Hensley not here. There has been some roster changes in the league, so some drivers who we were used to seeing may not be around, so see how that does affect the championship picture.
Matthew Bell went to the top of the charts there with a 29.343, and Thomas Bresci now at P2 with a 29.364. So just waiting on Shane Terrian to make his lap. He's the only driver that has not turned a lap yet.
Last week's race was at the Canadian Tire Motorsports Park. That race did go unbroadcasted, but results-wise did go to Thomas Bresci, which for anybody who's followed the Hardline Racing League with us for any amount of time knows that Thomas Bresci is the road course master, so not too much of a surprise there. Tyler Hensley was racing last week, finished second. Bryla Pratt, Joel Holloway, and Robert Kenny in the short field that happened last week at Mossport, but these guys are starting to wrap up the session, so the clock is striking 0, so these guys will be able to complete the lap they are on, but they will not be able to start a new one. Let's see what happens.
And Terrian got the ball there, so he is going to be rolling off in 11th.
Yeah, Fenlison took the stripe right there, and he will remain in 3rd spot, so just a wait. Oh, some huge crash there as these guys finish the session out, but we will wait just a few more moments, a couple more seconds before this race does get underway. I want to thank people for tuning in for tonight's race, the Hardline Racing League here on PTR TV. They are just, I believe this is the last race of the regular season, playoffs starting effective next week. So it'll be interesting to see how that does play out in terms of who's going to get there, who isn't going to get there. So gotta stay tuned for that. But these drivers are assembling themselves on the starting lineup. So let's bring to you the PTR TV starting lineup here from the Las Vegas Motor Speedway. On the pole with a lap time of 29.344 is Matthew Bell. Congrats to him on that lap. Thomas Bresci on the outside of the front row. Michael Finlayson in 3rd, Joshua Adams in 4th, Chuck Sweeting in 5th, and Bronson Stafford in 6th. Evan.
Then we have Casey Shue in 7th, Robert Kinney in 8th, Simon Thornton in 9th, Cody Tabor in 10th, and Shane Terrian in 11th, rounding that field.
That's the shortest grid we've ever had, Evan, huh?
Yeah.
So again, 100 laps of racing here tonight. Track conditions, 70 degrees in the air, about 97 on the track, 8-mile-an-hour wind from the southwest. So a little bit more grip on the track than these guys may have been used to, so that should help them out in that regard. But we know how difficult these Cup cars are, Evan. They are handfuls with all the horsepower and lack of downforce, and we know the tire model is a little difficult to say. So what would you feel like these cars would drive like tonight?
Well, from most of the Cup cars I've ran on 1.5 miles, they're a little bit tight in the center and free off just because you have so much wheel into it in the center trying to get it to turn. And I saw in qualifying a lot of these guys were kind of running the middle lane just trying to get the car to turn. So we'll see. It looks like most of them are having a tight handling.
Yeah, one thing about Las Vegas, for people who don't know, it is progressively banked. So there's 18 degrees on the bottom, 19 in the middle, 20 up top once these guys do get to the turns. So you will see drivers as this race progresses moving up the track and using that banking, and especially in turn 1 and 2 where the inside of the track is so bumpy, you really don't want to be down there at all.
Yeah, especially if someone's right on your door, that's going to make you get really tight where you just cannot get the throttle down.
Yep, and then you got to watch out for that exit of turn 2, which can sneak out and bite you at any time if you do not nail your entry. So that is, or nail your exit rather. So something to watch out for. But we are rolling off of the grid. Matthew Bell in the 95. He is the pole sitter. He will, at the moment anyways, choose to stay on the inside groove. And the stage will be at lap number 30. That will be a competition caution for the stage, and points will be assessed. And looks like there will only be one driver who will not get stage points, as we have 11 on the grid and 10 get points. So one unlucky driver will not get any, so we'll see who that is going to be. But down the Nellis straightaway we come, entering corner number 3. Evan, we're about ready to go underway.
Yeah, these drivers are going to have to watch on this initial start and all the restarts for wheel spin, because this track, it is not going to have very much grip with all the horsepower these Cup cars have.
Yeah, it does not, and especially without all the rubber in there. Clean track. Didn't get a lot of rubber put in with the small field, so it'll take a little bit to get that grip wore into it, and we'll see what happens. But the pace car is coming through corner number 4. And there it pulls into pit lane, and the 95 can go whenever he chooses to do so, and he has already chosen to do so. Green flag in the air. We're racing in Las Vegas.
Good start from everyone. Didn't see too much, if any, wheel spin there, but Bell, he really got a good jump over the entire field. The battle right now is for second with Michael Finlayson and Thomas Bressie. Bressie currently hanging on to it out of turn number 2, but Finlayson trying to get it. He's not going to be able to down the backstretch.
Not quite yet. He will fall back into the 3rd spot behind Thomas Bressie. You can see him already using that 2nd, almost 3rd lane is that one machine. Not sure if that's going to work. It nearly into the fence. Also nearly into the fence was Joshua Adams in 4th.
That one car lost a lot of ground there in the 3 and 4 to the 24 Bressie. But look how high everyone is already running 1 and 2 and then cutting down kind of to the bottom lane on exit. And right now, it looks like Bressie is faster than Bell. He gained quite a bit of ground there in 1 and 2.
Yes, he is, but as we know, getting to him is one thing, passing him is another. It's a lot easier to pass him later in the run when the tires are maybe different and drivers may have better long run and short run cars. This early in a race where we still have all this grip, I don't know if he's going to get by him relatively easily.
Bressie running a bit lower the line, got one of those bumps there through the center of 1 and 2, and lost a little bit of time there. It allowed Bell to pull away, and Finlayson, he's closing in a little bit now on Thomas Bressie. You can see how much that one car gains there entering turn 3, but loses quite a bit of it, if not all of it, on turn 4.
Yeah, it's something, you know, driving it into the turn too deep, that will compromise you on corner exit, and you will not have the run down the straightaway. See everyone Larsoning it right up against the fence and then cutting really low all the way to the white line for corner exit. An interesting line, but you can see
that's one way to keep it off the turn 2 wall.
Yeah, and I wonder if that's going to hurt the right front tire, really cutting it that hard, unless they are really modulating the throttle enough.
It could, especially like you said, if they're pretty hard on the throttle while cutting down, that's really going to hurt the tires.
Yeah, especially where we predict this race to go pretty green with the small field. You're going to need to save those tires, but I mean, the thing they have going for them is they know lap 30 is a guaranteed fresh set of tires on the stage. So for 30 laps, Evan, we know that by lap 10, these cars are really going to start dropping off the cliff handling wise.
Corey, I believe the stage is 35.
All right, close enough.
But yeah, close enough. Good guess.
So that would give us about a, given the caution laps, about a 65 lap run to the end.
Which I'm pretty sure, I don't think they would be able to make that on fuel.
And I don't think they would, and I don't even think they'd want to try. I think they would want to do split that up and do another 30 lap pit stop. So from what we can tell, should be about a 2-stop race if this goes clean and green, which is most likely to do so, but we've seen things not go as we expected, so we'll see what happens. But Bressie has closed into within a less than 2/10 of Matthew Bell. Look at him trying to cut down low, trying to get any kind of run he can off corner number 2.
Looks like Bell's going to get the run down the back straightaway at least. We'll see here in 3 and 4 if Bressie can make some ground up. Bell run a little bit higher right on that first seam. Bressie down there trying to get down to the white line, but can't quite get there. And out of 4, it's going to be Bell with the run. So I wonder if Bressie is kind of starting to burn his tires up a little bit too much.
Yeah, that's probably what the case was, where he did shoot out there out of a can and got right to the back bumper right off the bat. And as I said, right around lap 10, that's usually when you can tell who pushed it, who is going to gain spots, who's going to lose spots.
And Finlayson is starting to close in on Bressie a little bit, at least through 3 and 4. And Bressie in the wall a little bit there. That's going to allow Finlayson to get to his inside down the front straightaway. See here, and he is going to clear him before they even get down to turn 1.
Yeah, so Bressie already has himself set out for a long night. Depending how much damage he does have, we'll get a better look at the right front of that 24. And not too bad, but it's still something that may give him some kind of negative impact. Here comes Josh Adams to the inside.
I don't think that damage has hurt him too much, but maybe just his right front is starting to fall off a little bit here.
Starting to fall off?
His right front is starting to lose grip. Is that better?
Yeah, there you go. Points leader Shane Terrian not going anywhere. Actually, I'm going to take that back. Thomas Bressie is the points leader. Shane Terrian, who has been the major victor this season, all the way back in the 9th spot, hasn't really gained any time.
But Corey, we have a battle for the lead. Michael Finlayson just went around Matthew Bell. Bell trying to go for the crossover down the front stretch, but I don't think he has enough of a run to get back to his quarter panel.
Let's go back and on replay and try to catch that pass. See, he got right to the back bumper, cut underneath him off of 2, went down the back straightaway and just sailed it off in there into quarter number 3. Did the slide job just a little bit, and then Bell didn't have enough.
And he is gone.
Yeah, Bell didn't
started out to about a half-second lead.
So we'll see what happens here. I mean, there's still chance that Finlayson is using up his stuff, but Evan, I know a couple races we did in the now defunct Contender Series where I think Finlayson was in his own, just, it was almost as if he had so much horsepower more than everybody else. He's so fast.
Yeah, and he was showing that tonight. 2/10 quicker than Matthew Bell last time by. We'll see what it is here this time by, because it looks like Bell actually closed in on a little bit there through 3 and 4. See what the lap time says.
789 to a 794, so just a few thousandths faster for Finlayson, but all effectively even laps for both drivers. As what do we have going on in the 4th spot? 4th and 5th, Chuck Sweeting has closed to the back bumper of Josh Adams, so that'll be again for the 4th spot. So Sweeting is kind of setting himself up for the run-on corner exit. Adams did not do so. You could see how much momentum that 26 has. He gained probably about 4 car lengths just down the front straightaway alone.
See if he can keep that up here in 1 and 2. Looks like Sweeting is able to cut just a little bit sooner, and he definitely got a better run down the back straightaway. We'll see here in 3 and 4 if he can try and use that and make a move. Does not look like he's going to be able to yet. Run a little bit higher now in 3 and 4. But a little bit lower on exit, and he's definitely going to help him get the run.
Yeah, he's doing kind of the late apex strategy, which you'd see more on road courses and short tracks, more so than on speedways, but it's working for him. He's going really high, and then he cuts low there, and looks like Adams did a pretty good job mocking that line. As we do have a position change a little bit further back, that is the number 38 of Shane Terrian. Will just slide past Casey Shue, move up into 7th position.
So I wonder if Terrian has been trying to save his tires a little bit, because he really hadn't moved up through the field much. Now up to the 7th position over Casey Shue. So we'll see if he can continue to march his way forward this run, or how that's going to go for him.
Yeah, he's 3 seconds back. So, given we only have 20 laps rather left at the stage, I don't know if he's going to be able to get that back in time. But we'll see how high he can get up there in the grid as he is closing. Shane Terrian is closing in on Bronson Stafford, and then once he gets ahead of Bronson Stafford, that is pretty much everybody in close proximity. So Sweeting is still all over the back of that number 88, has yet to find a way by.
Running higher than 3 and 4 once again, and he's staying up a little bit higher than Adams was, and Adams got the better run out of 4. But both of them, it looks like, are starting to close in on Thomas Bressie. Fairly even a lot of times last time by, though, but it still looks like they are a little bit closer than they were before.
Yeah, they are doing the best they can to get to him, but still a couple car lengths in the making. Bressie's damage obviously not hindering him that much. Look at that 88 sail off in there into corner number 3. I don't think that's going to hold on corner exit. Actually, it did. Bressie
Bressie had to get out the throttle there on exit, and that really helped the 88 of Adams.
Yeah, Adams is now trying the low line in corners number 1 and 2. See if that does anything for him. Still holding back by about quarter of a second. Chuck Sweeting still within inches of the back bumper.
See here again, Adams getting the run on corner exit. Not close enough to make a move, and he's got Chuck Sweeting right behind him, who is close enough to make a move on him. So he is having to look out front and right behind him.
You can see Sweeting dropping back by about 4 car lengths, but look at that monster run he gets off the corner with how he's setting himself up. He actually lost a little bit of time in it. He didn't close his back as he was originally, but
here he's going to get the run through 3 and 4.
Yeah, let's see if this run is better for him than the one he got off at 2. It most certainly is. He may be able to make a move if he can find out where to go.
Looks like he's going to stay in line for now, back off a little bit. We'll see here if he chooses to run a higher line once again. Yes, he will, but Adams is going to run just as high, but Bressie getting loose in front of him.
Yeah, Bressie kind of hooked the white line just a little bit, and that got him a little bit loose. Didn't cost him much momentum, though.
Looks like Adams is better in 1 and 2, but Sweeting is a lot better through 3 and 4.
Yeah, we're going to bring up the lap tracker here, see who is the fastest of all the field, essentially, at this point. And the 1 up by almost 2/10 over the field, but fastest car on the track last lap at least was the 88. Other than the leader, who we're not even accounting for by how fast he is at this point.
Yeah, Finlayson still had a 10th over the second fastest car, which was Adams.
Yeah, we'll see what it is this time by and see what the discrepancy is. And actually, Matthew Bell nearly mirrored Finlayson's last lap. So I don't know if the last time by Bell just didn't hit his marks or what, but he doesn't seem to be as consistent as Finlayson, but he could still put that kind of lap time in occasionally.
Yeah, because overall, Finlayson still is pulling away from Bell and the rest of the field. But this battle for third from 3rd, 4th, and 5th is still going on. But just no one can get close enough to make moves. They're all staying about a quarter of a second back from each other.
Yeah, everybody knows if they go to the inside of the track, it may actually cost them a position. So hard later in the run to get the grip down there to hold that momentum and complete passes. So it's kind of one-line racing until we can maybe get more rubber into it. And to be honest, I don't know how much rubber we're going to get in here tonight.
Sweeting starting to close back in on the 88 of Adams here. Got it down to just over a 10th of a second. Here through 1 and 2 is gaining through the center of the corner. Can he keep it up on exit? Yeah. Fairly even on exit. Still overall gain.
And Shane Terrian right behind this, Evan. He has managed to get up to the 6th position. He has passed Bronson Stafford. He has a 2.5 seconds if he wants to get to the tail end of this battle, which will be in the 5th position with Chuck Sweeting, who is just still stalking the back bumper of that 88, but still just hasn't found a way by. And to be honest, I don't think he's really tried to get by yet.
Adams is running really high there through 1 and 2. It's not going to work for him. He's going to have to get up the throttle, and that's going to allow Sweeting to probably clear him. Yeah, he's going to clear him before they even get to the corner.
All right, so that is, just as I say, he hasn't made a move yet. He's going to try to make a move. He's not going to shut the door. He's going to leave it open, and he will finally clear off corner exit, so move Chuck Sweeting up to 4th. He has about a 1/2 second now after that if he's going to try to make a move on Thomas Bressie for 3rd.
We'll see if he can close in that 1/2 second. It looks like he's already doing a pretty good job at that, at least out of turn number 2. Got it down to about 0.4 of a second now. Here through 3 and 4, even gaining more time now. It's down to just 0.3 of a second.
Well, but I'll tell you, last time by, well, I'll take that back before I even said it. I was going to say 2 laps ago, Bell was actually faster than Finlayson, but last time by, Finlayson had him by a little over, by just about a 1/10. So thought that maybe the 95 was getting somewhere, but might have been a 1-lap fluke deal. We'll keep an eye on it, but there are only going to be 7 laps to go in the stage. Remember, that will come out on lap number 35. These positions will have to sort quickly. So worth noting, Cody Tabor is now 2 laps down. He has made a pit stop already. No damage on that machine, so wondering if he is making a strategy call. Not quite sure, but worth noting. 10 cars on the lead lap right now.
Yeah, looks like he just came down pit road for strategy.
Yep, 31-second pit stop, so maybe some kind of damage repair that he wanted to do under green. Everybody else has been on the racetrack with minimal incident. Lap number 30 is being worked on right now as we come off corner number 2. The lead is now just over 1 second for Michael Finlayson, who, again, last lap, Bell was a hair faster, but we'll see if it's a trend or if it was a fluke deal. We'll see what it is at the stripe.
But we got a battle for third going on. Corey Sweeting is now underneath Thomas Bresci for the third position with 5 laps scaling the stage down into turn number 1. And Sweeting's going to clear him, but Bresci's going to get the run on corner exit. But it looks like Sweeting's going to get another run on corner exit, and he's not going to be able to clear him. Now he does.
That was I think Bresci may have let him go there, but that was a power move by that 26. Remember, he's one of the drivers. We see a couple in each league where some of these drivers are just all about that long run pace, that methodical, smooth driving. I know on our ASRS coverage, Brian Yazik is one we always talk about, where you don't see him really in qualifying, but he knows how to race, especially when it's about saving the tires.
See here, Bresci might even fall back to the 5th position as Adams is starting to close in on him. Going through 3 and 4 now. And you can just see that run that Adams gets from running that high lane. And Bresci got loose there. That's going to give Adams an even better run. And he's going to try and take a look underneath him down into 1 and 2. See how this works for Bresci running the unpreferred lane here. Or works for Adams running the unpreferred lane. But Bresci's going to make it work up top.
Yeah, Adams just could not make it work down low, as we know how difficult it is. If anything, he's going to have to try to sneak it up a groove higher in 1 and 2 and really just push his luck. If he wants to make a move, he's going to have to make it in 2 laps. 2 to go in the stage. Gap is pretty much stabilized out front at about 1 1/4 seconds. Finlayson over Bell. We go back another 2 seconds to Chuck Sweeting, who has a little bit of a gap over Bresci and Adams. Everybody else is pretty situated.
Last time by, Bell was the fastest car on the track, but he still has a 1 1/4 to gain as it comes to the white flag for the stage.
Yep. 1 lap to go in the stage of the race. Doesn't look like it's going to have too much to dispute, because Finlayson out to what is nearly a 1.5 second gap now, headed down the back straightaway. Remember, the caution will come out when the 10th place car crosses the stripe, or as far as we know, that's how it works out. So that would be Simon Thorns. But coming off corner number 4, and in very what looks to be easy style, Michael Finlayson will take the stage. We will follow through the field. Shane Therrien tried getting Bronson Stafford there. Both of them drifting through the grass. Stafford will get it, will keep up the position. And here comes Simon Thorns, and the caution is out.
Therrien just got his left side in the grass and got loose. Good driving by both him and the 61 to keep it straight there.
I'm going to go watch that battle on the chopper cam. You can see they're coming off corner number 4, and Therrien just had a hell of a run. He went as low as he could get, clipped the grass there, and he almost lost it. And Stafford just almost lost it on his own with no real
didn't have any rear tire grip, and then coming back up on the apron with that banking still being there. Just got loose.
So now we collect ourselves behind the pace car, entering corner number 3. Again, 10 drivers on the lead lap. Cody Tabor, the only one lap, he's 2 laps down, so he'll get one of those back in the 11th position. And I expect pit road to be completely occupied this time by.
Michael Finlayson leading them down pit road now. Assume everyone's going to take 4 tires here. I think 2 tires would kind of be a deadly call right now.
Yeah, the fall off was a good 2.5 seconds, so only way 2 tires would work is on a very late race caution. And again, we'll see how this last segment of the race plays out. Everyone down pit road right now. Will everyone enter their pit box cleanly? Thomas Baresi, interesting entry.
Joshua Adams overshot his pit stall.
95 did, and the 95. But exiting the pits, and it will go.
Finlayson, Sweeting, then looks like Bell.
Oh, it's going to be a little bit of a gaggle. Bell will beat out Tarian, who's going to be up to 4th.
It's both Baresi and Adams dropping back here.
Alright, so first caution underway because of the stage, so we're going to step aside for a brief commercial break and be back with you for the start of the second stage, so stay with us.
I grew up in Northern California. My parents were just really big race fans and took my sister and I to sprint car races pretty much every Friday and Saturday night. So I did outlaw kart racing from 7 till I was 14. And then that's when I got into 360 and 410 wing sprint cars. There's just something about dirt racing that's just, you can't get anywhere else. I enjoy going back to race them whenever I can. I get to run about 20 to 25 dirt races a year and try and put on a show every time I'm there.
Battle for the lead. Kyle Larson to the inside of Shane Stewart. Slide job, no. Larson unable to complete the pass. He'll follow Shane Stewart down the back straightaway. Stewart makes the move to the inside of Craig Kinsler. Kyle Larson goes around the outside out of turn 4. You've got a new race leader. Kyle Larson from ninth leads on lap number 23.
I'm probably just a little more relaxed, I guess, at the dirt track just because it's for fun. Where the NASCAR stuff, it's points racing and a lot bigger sponsors and stuff you have to please and all that. You're there for 3 days a week, so your approach is a little bit different there. Where sprint cars, you're there for 5 or 6 hours and moving on to the next racetrack. So I've been on iRacing, I think, since 2009 or 10. Yeah, I remember, starting out, as a rookie on there, in the legends and the late models and stuff like that. And that was fun to, have to try and get your licenses up and stuff. But it's amazing to me how, now that I get to race on a lot of the tracks that are on there, how to the T, similar because of the laser scanning and stuff like that. So all the bumps and all the visual aspects of it are very good. So when I first got to K&N and then the Nationwide Series at the time, I would race iRacing all the time to learn as much as I could about the racetrack before I went to the actual racetrack to race. So to me, it's just for fun now. So I enjoy going on there. Actually, I don't enjoy going on there all the time because I don't win a lot. So it's frustrating to see myself struggle to run top 10 in an Xfinity race or something like that.
And we're back here on PTR TV. We are starting stage number 2 after we just had the stage caution and pit stops have been completed. Michael Finlayson, who has dominated the race thus far, got out of pit road first and will elect to take the outside, which will move Chuck Sweeting to the inside for P2, and then Bell and Tarian in road number 2. So Evan, take it away.
Coming through turns number 3 and 4 now. Waiting for the pace car to pull down into pit road as they're out of turn number 4 now. And there goes the pace car, now waiting on that number 1 car to get this race back underway. And there he goes, we're back underway here at Las Vegas.
Yes, we are, and Sweeting did not get going on that start in P2, and that'll get him 3 wide, gaggled up behind them. We're going to be 3 wide entering corner number 1. Sweeting moves up over the bumps. Here they come. Here comes the 88, almost to the back bumper of the 26. 61, not nearly squeezed to 3 wide with Shane Terrian, who's up top, pushing Matthew Bell.
Matthew Bell taking over position number 2 for the moment, but behind them there is a gaggle of cars. Shane Terrian trying to get around Chuck Sweeting. He's going to do so now. Terrian trying to get to the outside of Bell. He does that as well. They're going to be side by side for the second position down into turns number 1 and 2. But it looks like Bell is going to clear, but will Terrian be able to fight back on the outside lane? He will.
Guys got to watch out on the inside. Very easy to drift up. Almost saw some left rear contact with a couple drivers, but everyone doing a good job and keeps themselves pointed in the right direction. Femlison is out there already in his own ballpark, but Terrian to second. Battle still for third with Stafford to the top, Bell to the bottom. That will fizzle out for the time being.
Chuck Sweeting all the way back to the 7th position now. We know he is generally a lot better on the long run, so we'll see if he can get those positions back, as they're still all nose to tail, 3rd through 6th. Here Bronson Stafford leading that group for the moment.
Stafford in the 3rd position, has pulled away by a couple car lengths over Bell. Here comes Thomas Bressy, got a little loose over off of 4. That opens the door for the 88 of Adams to the inside. He's going to dive it off in there. He'll pull door to door with Bell as well, but Bressy has the momentum. He'll fill that gap back in up top, and we stay exactly how we were.
Bronson Stafford starting to pull away from this group a little bit and actually closing in on Shane Terrian for the 2nd position, who is closing in on the leader.
Yeah, I think Fenlison may have got the wall there. If not, he checked up hardcore for it. That's going to slow him down significantly and have a battle for the lead. Terrian on the 38 to the inside. Close call. Fenlison gets back on his groove and cuts and shuts the door.
So now that's bringing Stafford and a few other drivers into this battle just a little bit. Let's see if Stafford can get by Terrian and try and have something for the leader, but Stafford held it tight out of 4, had to get at the throttle, so he lost some time there.
And these guys are pushing it so hard. Remember, this is a stint to the finish. There's no further stages, so unless we have a caution, we're going to be going about 60 laps to the end. And I know we talked about these guys maybe pitting around lap 30, so do you think any drivers will try to come a couple laps earlier and try to get the advantage on new tires?
Well, we see that a lot, especially in this league, where some drivers try and pit early to gain time, and I know Shane Terrian is one of the drivers that likes staying out later, and that generally works for him, so I think we'll see Terrian wait a few laps after everyone else pits, and then come down pit road, and he likes chasing people. Yeah,
it's either the chaser or the chasee, and it's a lot easier being the chaser, knowing that you have the fresh tires, you can drive how you want to, but there's a lot of times where that gap that you're trying to overcome is just too much, and so we've seen drivers who should have won fallen deep in the field, as a 61 didn't get off forward all that time. 95 pulls right up to the back bumper. Bressy stalking him. Here they come past the stripe, entering corner number 1.
Stafford puts Bell puts the bumper to Stafford just a little bit there. That's going to check Bell up and allow Bressy to get to his outside through 1 and 2. See who's going to get the run down the backstretch. Pretty even there between Bressy and Bell. See here through 3 and 4. Bell will clear, but is Bressy going to be able to fight back on the outside lane? He's going to try to. He got to his right rear quarter panel out of turn 4. Both drivers starting to go a little bit tight there, but they're going to stay side by side down the front stretch.
That's the best place to be when you're trying to make a pass, on that outside. Pinch the man to the inside. Cop his momentum out, but 95 is not going down without a fight. He sailed it off in there. Corner number 1 on that inside groove, but without fail, here comes that 24 with the momentum off 2 and down the backstretch.
There's Joshua Adams right behind him, giving Bressy a little bit of a push there through 3 and 4. Now I think Bressy will get him here out of 4. It's going to be really close contact. Bressy's sliding up the track, and that's going to allow Bell to clear, but now Joshua Adams underneath Bell for that 3rd position, or 4th position.
Looks like Bressy may have some left front impact now. We saw him have some right front contact earlier in the race, so
now the car's even.
Yeah. They may have repaired the right front a little bit, but still damage to both sides of the car. But here comes the 95 of Bell to the inside of Adams for the 4th spot. Will he slide and cut the door off? He will do just that. 88 gets the door shut on him, and look at them in the tri-oval. This could be dangerous.
A little bit of bump draft in there.
I think that was a little bit of a sign saying, hey, I don't like you doing that. And we'll see what the end result of it is if that number 95 can pull away from the 88.
Just past halfway now. Finlayson still pulling away from Terrien. It's now up to just over 6.5 tenths of a second. Yeah. But last time by, Terrien was quicker, but it's by 1,000th of a second. Still quicker.
Yeah, I mean, anything's better than nothing. We'll see if he can do it more consistently this run than last run when I can't remember who it was. I think it was Bell was trying to close in on Finlayson.
It was.
So we'll see if that is the case. A 30.85 to a 30.65. So 2 tenths in the bank for Terrien. That last lap has the gap just now at a half second.
Finlayson cannot get the throttle down out of turn 2 like he needed to there, so that's going to allow Terrien to get it down to about 4 tenths of a second. Coming through 3 and 4 now. Finlayson all over that white line down at the bottom of the track. But that upper lane is working for Terrien, now down to about 3.5 tenths of a second.
Yeah, we are starting to develop a groove. You can see it here, especially in 3 and 4. There is a dark rubber groove there where they are predominantly running right on the bottom of the track. You can see it off of 2 as well. That darkened groove to the inside of the speedway. So you can see as we went through 3 and 4, Terrien is driving right up at the edge of it, right up at the edge of that untouched asphalt. Seems to be giving him that bite, that grip, and that speed down the straightaways.
Stayed pretty even that time by, still about 300ths in the favor of Terrien. We've seen it before, it's fairly easy for these guys to catch each other, but it's just been really hard to pass tonight.
Yes, it has been. We've seen drivers stuck behind for multiple laps, not being able to do anything, but now that the battle for the lead is shaping up, hopefully that they have found a way. Terrien will find a way by. As still the 61 and the 95 still duking it out for third. 95 is right on the back bumper still, the 61.
Bell trying to cut low through 1 and 2. Not able to get up to his quarter panel quite yet. Down the back, it looks like the 61 had the run. Going through 3 and 4 now. Stafford up there in that higher lane. Bell down right on that white line, and that white line's working for Bell. Right to the back bumper.
Yes, it is. Right to the back bumper. And up front, the lead down to a quarter of a second, so we'll keep an eye on that. Bressie losing a spot, actually gaining a spot, rather. Chuck Sweeting, who falls back to 7th. And here comes the 95 of Bell to the inside. Cannot get the run. Falls back in line and moves up the racetrack.
2 tenths of a second lead now for Michael Finlayson over Terrien. So Terrien is trying to get up to him, but he's not quite able to yet.
Not quite. Lap 58, so 42 laps to go. So the pit window, in my opinion, would be opening up probably after lap 65. That's what I would expect to see these guys start the process down, but the exact lap is, well, that's the strategy that we're going to have to keep in touch for.
Yeah, because you can pit now and make it, but you don't want to go 40 laps to the end. You want to try and get another 5-10 laps or so.
Yeah, from what we can tell, it's about a 40-second trip down pit lane. And every time you pit a lap early, you're gaining pretty much a second and a half, 2, sometimes even more than 2 seconds a lap. But it all works out because you're going to lose time on those slightly older tires compared to the new tires. And that's the debate we see every week. Which strategy is going to work, which strategy is not.
It's going to be hard to know until that checkered flag flies.
Caution. Oh, excuse me. Looked at the wrong screen there for a second.
It's no caution, Corey.
But the battle's still going on for third. Here comes the 61 and the 95 still are contesting this position, bringing Joshua Adams back into it. So it'll be a 3-car battle for the third spot. Thomas Bresci and Chuck Sweeting still in that battle for the 6th position as well. Just behind this, up front, it is still a stable 1/4 of a second between the top 2, Fenelson and Tarian.
Kind of surprised we haven't seen Sweeting be able to move up further than he has. He's only back there battling for the 6th position right now. And this is usually the part of the run where he started to move forward, and he just has not been able to yet.
Yeah, he's maybe just, I think he had some speed earlier, but maybe he's just struggling to pass or just not wanting to be aggressive. Maybe just waiting for the other pit stop, seeing if he can gain time that way, as we do have Casey Shue retiring from the race, and I do believe Cody Tabor, he has some significant damage. Not sure if he'll get back out. So 9 drivers on the racetrack, 9 drivers on the lead lap at the moment.
And battle still going on for third. It's just no one can seem to make moves quite yet. I think Bell is a little bit quicker, but just cannot get to his inside. We'll see if he can here through 3 and 4. He's going to get close to his quarter panel. Not going to be able to get to it quite yet, but he got close there.
Yeah, couldn't quite do it. If anything, he's going to need to try to go to the outside of the track and squeeze up a little bit higher if he can get that momentum. Because if he can get a car bogged down, that's going to be a more sure thing pass than trying to dig that bottom.
It's going to be really hard to get to his outside.
It will. It's also going to be hard to get past on the pass on the inside. So it's going to be a difficult
hard pass to make.
Yes, it will. Here comes Sweeting. Gets the left front in the air there as he clipped the grass. That cost him some time. You know, watch out for any kind of damage that you can get from that. He'll fall back in line behind Bresci. But yeah, the easiest place to make a pass, Evan, is on pit road. And that's going to be happening within a couple laps, presumably.
Yeah, they've gone about 27 laps now, so if I was one of these drivers, I'd pit around lap 68 to 71, somewhere around there, just to kind of split the runs up. So if people do pit around there, that means Tarian's probably going to pit about lap 75. Just taking a guess.
Yeah, and it's just a matter of if you pit too late, you're going to be sacrificing, you're going to have those fresher tires, but will you have enough time to gain what you lost on that later pit stop? It looks like the 95 and the 61 having some really hard racing. The 61 had to check up rather the 95 had to check up rather significantly, and that cost them some time, but still in the same order.
Bell has got to be getting tired of being behind this 61.
And here comes the 88 of Josh Adams. So you know up front, Tarian is now 0.6 of a second back, so the battle for the lead is over with at the moment. We'll go back to what we were watching.
See here, Bell got a pretty good run out of 4. Not going to be able to get up to his quarter panel yet, which I think has been the story of this battle so far. It's your 3 and 4 now. Joshua Adams starting to gain a little bit on Matthew Bell, but Bronson Stafford did not get through 3 and 4 at all that time, and that's going to allow Bell to catch up down the front stretch, and he might be able to make a move down here in 1 and 2.
Will he? He'll stay in line. And he'll follow his tire tracks, and nope, here he comes trying to cut lower on the racetrack. Not going to work. He's going to have to watch out and try not to get passed by Josh Adams in the process.
He got a run, but not as enough of a run as he needs. Once again, running higher through 3 and 4, and now trying to cut lower than Stafford, and he's going to get a good run out of 4. He may be able to make his move here.
He's going to go high, low, he's going to go high. Got to watch out for that tri-oval wall. I think he had to back off because of that, and that cost him the run he had. But look at Josh Adams directly to the back bumper. All of them cutting low off corner number 2. Here comes the 95. trying to get there, can't do it.
Front his back bumper, a little bit of contact there, entering turns number 3 and 4. This is where Bell has been a lot better than Stafford. We'll see if he can once again get that run. Not going to be able to get as good of a run as he needs, but Stafford got a little bit loose out of 4, so that will help him out just a little bit.
Yes, it will. Still waiting for pit stops. Have you seen anybody come down pit road? Actually, take that back. Robert Kenny on pit road. Thomas Bressie has already made his pit stop while we were watching this.
As well as Simon Thorns, but Matthew Bell taking a look underneath Stafford down into 3 and 4. And they have Josh Adams right behind them, just waiting for something to happen to these two running side by side here out of 4. Stafford's going to get the run, and he should still have it at the stripe. No, Bell is going to get it at the stripe and has a nose ahead down into turns number 1 and 2. I don't know if he's going to be able to hang on through 1 and 2 now. We'll see if he can, but Bell is going to clear him.
Yes, he will. Matthew Bell finally gets the spot right before pit stops. We'll see if this drags anybody to pit road.
Here comes Stafford as well as Terrian. Terrian trying something new, pitting before everyone else.
Yeah, he needs to get any kind of advantage possible. So maybe getting that extra lap in may be the case if Fenlison just stays out. I would assume Fenlison will come this time by. We'll see. Big wiggle from Fenlison off of 4.
But now with Terrian coming down pit road, he's got about a 2 3/4 second lead over Bell, and here comes Fenlison.
And this is a very difficult pit lane, and it's a very difficult pit lane to maximize. It's very easy to be overly conservative because it is a difficult pit lane to get on, so there may be some gap, there may be some opportunity, especially with the merging point on the back straightaway, to gain or lose some significant time here.
Only driver that is yet to come to pit road is Chuck Sweeting. He's going for a longer run strategy here. See, there's Fenlison leaving pit road now. And be interested to see where Terrian ends up. And he's going to get by him. Terrian's going to pass him out of turn 2.
Yes, he will, and that's 1 lap of difference there as someone killed the blue cone.
It's Fenlison. Rest in peace, blue cone.
Will 1 lap be enough of a dagger? It's going to be a 1 second gap that he will have over Fenlison. I mean, Evan, we've seen 4 or 5 laps throw some drama, but will 1 lap mean anything?
Maybe.
Thomas Bressie, remember, he pitted 6 laps ago. He's technically ahead of all these guys right now, but he will not be able to hang on.
So you can just see the difference in just 4-lap tires. And there, Terrian easily gets by Bressie. 4-lap fresher tires on that 38 of Terrian. But 25 laps to go here from Las Vegas.
Yeah, this will fly by in no time, but we may have a hell of a battle for the win on our hands, so gotta stay tuned. Coming off corner number 2, they're both getting by Bressie, and, well, I thought 1 lap of tires didn't matter, but...
Oh, contact! Bressie going up the track, but keeps it straight.
I thought 1 lap wouldn't matter, but I don't know if it's just pure speed on the 1 or if it is that little bit of extra freshness on the tires, but he's already cut into that gap.
We'll see here if it kind of evens out. But right now, Fenlison is a lot quicker than Terrian. See if he can keep that up.
Yes, he will, but we know Terrian ain't going to go down without a fight. See him running that higher groove through 3 and 4. It's going to open the door and allow that 1 to gain all that time back. Remember, fresh tires. Usually you want to be lower on the track on fresh tires. That's what the 1 did, and here he comes right to the back bumper.
Out of turn 2, Fenlison has a little bit of a run. Not going to be able to get to his quarter panel yet down the back stretch. Kind of evened out there through 3 and 4. Fenlison going for a little bit of a higher entry. And he's going to try and get to his right rear quarter panel. Not going to be able to as Terrian slides up, shuts the door. Now Fenlison going to the inside.
Here he comes. This is the battle for the lead. This is the battle for the win on lap number 79. Heading off into corner number 1. Fenlison to the inside. Tarian has the preferred groove up top. They're going to be door-to-door off the corner. Tarian will get that run, and the more times he can get that one pin down there, that one's going to burn his right front off, and that might even them out a little bit.
We'll see here, and with Finlayson running right behind Tarian, that's also going to probably burn out Finlayson's tires a little bit more because he's just trying so hard to get by him. Trying all the different lanes he can and trying to run it as hard as he can to get by him. We'll see here as Tarian goes all the way up the track out there into that third lane. That's the highest we've seen anyone. As Finlayson taking a look underneath him down the backstretch, he's at his left rear quarter panel, but did not get the run down the backstretch and slides back in line.
Yes, he did. In the corner number 3, Tarian goes a little bit high on the track. Finlayson right to the left rear. Tarian shuts the door on the front straightaway. The one still looking a little bit low. Still 19 laps. I don't think Tarian can hang on for that long. And Siren Thorne's in the groove. They're going to have to cut low. Looks like they didn't have too much of a disadvantage from that.
Finlayson's still not able to get back to his quarter panel quite yet. Staying in the line about half a car length separating these guys down into 3 and 4. Out of turn number 4, who's going to get the run? It's pretty even there. We'll see if Finlayson can do anything through 1 and 2.
Here they head off, running middle groove, and then washes up a little bit more is Tarian. That's going to open the door on the inside, and Finlayson sticks it in there. Still has a fender. If he can hang on to that through 3, he may be at the opportune scenario. They both wash up the track a little bit. 38 washes a little bit higher up than anybody has been, but still is able to get that overspeed up top and keep that momentum going. And we know he'll have the prime spot entering 1.
Neither of them are going to be able to clear, but through 1 and 2, will Finlayson be able to make that bottom work? He's going to try and do a slide job, but not going to be able to slide up in front. He's not able to clear him, but Tarian gets the wall. That's going to give Finlayson the lead.
That small mistake by the 38. He got on the gas just that little bit too hard, a little bit too much speed off of 2. Just scrapes the safer barrier, and that will be, I'm assuming, the pass for the win, but don't count Tarian out. And of course, we could have a caution. It is, I mean, it's technically a possibility.
Tarian's not letting him get in the way. He's hanging in there through 1 and 2 there, at least.
You know, there are those weird scenarios where sometimes the car actually handles better in second place. So sometimes it does actually help the second place guy out, and then when you end up getting the lead, you don't have the same handling you had in second. Kind of opposite of how some things work in the real world, but in the simulator world, sometimes that's how it works out. But I don't think Tarian is going to be able to stay with him. You can see him starting to fall back just a couple inches at a time.
Last time by, they were in pretty much equal lap times. Finlayson was about 1/1000th of a second quicker. We'll see what it is this time. On if Tarian can kind of try and stay with him. 3/1000ths quicker for Finlayson, so he's definitely not letting him get away. They're pretty even there.
But is he going to have anything to be able to get back by, even if he can run those same times? Running the same time isn't going to get him back by. He's going to have to do something different to find a way by, even if he can. So that's going to be the hard part. See him running a little bit lower is Tarian through 3 and 4. Will that amount to anything off corner exit?
14 laps to go now for Finlayson, and last time by, pretty equal lap times once again, about 100th quicker for Finlayson. So they are extremely even right now.
Yes, they are. Only other battle on the track right now is Sweeting and Stafford. That is for the 7th and 8th positions. Sweeting will get that on fresher tires, as Stafford having connection issues. Every other position is pretty well separated on the speedway. But battle for the lead, battle for the win still is on. Seeing if Tarian has a second life. He is staying with Finlayson, but can he get a repass? That is what we have 12.5 laps to figure out.
It's going to be tough for him to do, but definitely still going to be possible. So 4 thousandths quicker for Finlayson, so he is a little bit quicker, but it's really not enough for that's really noticeable. It's only about 4 thousandths a second quicker. This time by it was about 200, so that's a little bit more.
See Tarian really high up there, hits that third lane. Finlayson stayed in the second groove. Will that amount to anything down the back straightaway? Just doesn't appear to be the case.
See here, Tarian gained some time there through the center of 3 and 4. He's got it back down to about 1/10 of a second.
Yes, he does, and he closes even further through the tri-oval, and you can see how much higher Tarian runs. That really sets him up for that cut off of 2, and he gets that run down the back straightaway. I don't think he was able to get on the throttle as much as he may have wanted to. He didn't get as big of a run as he's gotten in times past. They're both running pretty much identical lanes through 3 and 4, and the gap will remain consistent down the front straightaway.
10 laps to go now for Finlayson, and last time by, Tarian quicker by 100th. Now Finlayson starting to run even higher in 1 and 2, trying to take away Tarian's line, but he cannot cut as low as Tarian did, so that's going to help that 38 to get the better run down the back straightaway. Now through 3 and 4.
That's
Let's see if... Go ahead, Corey.
Well, I was going to say, sometimes when you're in this situation as a driver who's trying to take a line away, if you're not used to running that lane, a lot of times you're making your situation harder because you're going to run even slower trying to adjust to a line that you really haven't run all day.
And there's Tarian running higher and not cutting very low, but that worked for him. He got a huge run down the back.
Yeah, he has kept on the banking the whole time, and that probably kept him some more momentum up than cutting down, which does help, but there's something different, maybe a little cooler track, a little more grip. Here he is right to the back bumper. 8 laps to go.
Coming down into 1 and 2 now. Tarian once again really backing up the corner, trying to get that run and exit, cutting down once again right to that white line, trying to get that run the best that he can. And it didn't work as well for him as the last time did.
And remember,
he stayed up in the middle.
Remember, Tarian has 1 more lap on those tires than Finlayson does. Finlayson caught him and off of the green flag stops. He passed him, but Tarian not giving up, not going down without a fight. He has a car. It looks like he actually is faster at the moment. That's the highest Finlayson has run on the speedway. That's what Tarian has been doing. But did it work for Finlayson? It appeared to be pretty even between the two.
See, if anything, Finlayson had a little bit of an edge down the back straightaway, but we'll see here through 3 and 4. Tarian back to the throttle a lot sooner down in that bottom lane, right on that white line, and that gave him a good run down the front.
Tarian's going to go up the track, stay on the speedway as the one goes down to the apron, entering corner number 1. Looks like Finlayson stayed low, and Tarian didn't go as high as he has been. I don't think that's going to help his run down the back straightaway. Actually, he still managed to get it.
Coming through 3 and 4 now, and Tarian now starting to move up the track a little bit in 3 and 4. He had been running the bottom for pretty much this entire run, and that did not work for him quite as well as it has before.
I think he tried.
Now Finlayson starting to inch away a little bit again.
I think he
5 laps to go.
I think he tried that same approach through 3 and 4 that he does in 1 and 2, where that late apex, that cut to the bottom, doesn't quite work, and I don't think he can even do it in 1 and 2 anymore. But whatever he is doing in 1 and 2, it is working, but he's stuck in that little bubble, Evan. He's can't seem to close in any more than about that 10 feet.
We'll see if he can get the run out of 4, and he's going to get a run, but not the run he needs. We'll see here through 1 and 2 where he has been quite a bit better if he can try and get to his quarterfinal. He's going up top, trying to get that run.
This is the best
right
chance
down
he's
to the white
had.
line.
This is the best chance he's had. He's going to look to the inside, but what's he going to do with this move? I don't think that was the move to make, or if he makes moves too early, he's going to lose time, and now he has to gain about 2 car lengths back.
The issue is, or the good thing for him is he really didn't lose much time by making that move. He's back to where he was before he had that huge run out too.
The bad news is he made a move and it didn't work, so now what does he do?
Don't try that same move.
Is there a way to get by him cleanly? Does he settle for second? Does he have to maybe use the car up a little bit? These are the questions we will find out. 3 more miles around Las Vegas.
2 laps to go for Finlayson. He's going to have Terrien all over his rear bumper trying to get this win. Terrien going for his 6th win of the season.
Here he goes with that monster run.
Not quite enough to get up to his quarter panel.
But he gained a lot of time, and now here he comes to 3 and 4, trying to do the same thing. It's going to be the white flag lap coming off corner number 4, and I'll tell you, Finlayson held the lead that time. He didn't lose as much. Here we come.
Terrien's going to need a monster run here through 1 and 2, and I don't think he's going to be able to get it. We'll see Finlayson trying to run that middle lane. Terrien all the way up top.
Watch out, watch
Finlayson
out.
got the apron.
Here he comes. This is going to be a fantastic finish. He dives to the inside. He's going to send it. They're side by side. Slide job. Slide job. Here he comes with the crossover. Finlayson to the inside. Is it going to be a Las Vegas photo finish? They touch. They wreck. Who's going to get it? Upside down. Who's going to get it?
Finlayson gets it.
What have you ever?
No, I've never.
I'm going to say that was a gentleman move on Terrien to realize that I wrecked him.
Yeah, Terrien wrecked him, but he still let him win.
Because he realized I didn't want to do that. Here, on replay, he goes to the end. He sent it in there. He knew what he did. Here comes the crossover, and I think they wanted to Ricky Craven and Kurt Busch it here. I think that was the intent. And let's just say that didn't work. And you can see the one.
Terrien, he slammed on the brakes just so that Finlayson would still win.
So, we're going to quote the famous Brandon Krutz. Well, I don't know about famous, but we'll quote Brandon Krutz and say, that was a thing. And
that was definitely a thing.
And that was a phenomenal end to this race. Some excellent racing put on by these guys. So, I don't want to go to a commercial, Evan. I want to talk to these guys right away. So let's get these guys set up for interviews. But before we do that, let's bring you the final results tonight from the Hardline Racing League at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. With the victory, and absolutely fantastic and interesting, and well, I've never seen it before style, Michael Finlayson leading 81 laps, Shane Terrien in second leading 7, Matthew Bell leading 9 in third. Then it was Josh Adams and Robert Kenny in the top 5. Thomas Bresci in 6th, Chuck Sweeting led 3 laps in 7th, and then Bronson Stafford, Simon Thorns, and Casey Shue the top 10, and well, on his page by himself is Cody Taver in 11th. So, without further ado, let's get you the post-race show, let's get you the interviews, and well, 3rd place, Matthew Bell didn't quite have the, actually he had a pretty good view of that battle, so let's talk to Evan, let's have you talk to him.
So Matthew, you come to the 3rd place finish here tonight at Las Vegas. What are your thoughts after this race?
It's a pretty good race. I think definitely the patch that they just did made me faster at them, I guess, because they didn't plow as much. So it was really fun, hot and slick. I like it like that, and yeah, it was just good to be fast again.
Did you have much of a strategy coming into this race, or did you just kind of come up with it on the fly as far as like when to pit?
Well, I was gonna try to pit 75-ish, but then I stuck behind Bronson for most of the first run before he pitted, so I was just kind of trying to pass him before I pitted and kind of screwed up all my strategy.
Alright, one last question here for you. How was your view of that last lap pass? Did you kind of like seeing that? You had a nice seat for it.
Yeah, I didn't really see most of it, to be honest. I saw Shane try to slide job him, and I didn't know if he cleared it or not, because when I was in the corner I was too far back to see it, but I both saw them fly into the wall, so I just tried to cut as much as I could to try to get around one of them.
Alright, well, is there anyone you would like to thank or give a shout out to after your 3rd place finish?
Yeah, you guys for the broadcast, Tabor for putting on the league, my teammate Ryan Hartz, who wasn't here, but I've just learned a tremendous amount of info from him while I raced with him. Cahill Holmes, Shane Abbey, Mary, Michael, Spencer, and Jared.
Alright, well, thanks for talking with us, and congrats on your 3rd place finish.
Thank you.
Now Corey has caught up with second place finisher Shane Tarian.
All right, Shane, you went for it, man. You gave it your all, and you put on a hell of a battle there. I tell you, we didn't think once you got past that you were going to have a chance at it, but you did not back down, and you stayed right with him there. So talk about that last run to the checkers.
Well, I had Fenlison in the team speak with me. I told him, I was like, use your tires up because mine come in after 15 laps. So I was okay with him passing me. But that finish was awesome. I didn't mean to pit maneuver him. I meant to hit him in the door. I thought we were a little more side by side. And when we crashed, I kind of just didn't even try and pass him. I did not want to win that way. So I kind of just hoped that he was going to flip across the line, and he did. So I mean, it was great. Only me and Fenlison could put on a show like that, apparently.
Yeah, it seemed like from our perspective that you guys were going for the Craven and Bush finish there, but as you said, a little bit miscalculated on the door tap there. But what was the racing like? Obviously with the small field, but you guys still always had constant battles going on, and you didn't start the race very strong, but you found your way there at the end.
Yeah, I don't know. I hate this track. I mean, to be quite honest, I don't like it. The setup, it doesn't matter what the setup or the weather is. The car is just tight. When it gets loose, that's when I'm good. If it drives the way it drives, like 20 laps in, I'd be fine. But it's just it's so tight. Really one groove. You have to brake a lot if you even want to get a run off the corner. It's a tough track. But it took me, I think, me messing around with Bronson at the end of that stage. I learned what my car can and can't do, and that ended up just helping me that day.
Yeah, it did, man, and you did a great job. You finished second, so who do you want to give your shout-outs to after tonight's finish?
I'll give a shout-out to Fenlison for winning. It was fun. I know he's trying to catch back up to the most wins in this league. Give a shout-out to my teammate, Josh, who raced tonight, and a happy birthday to Nick, our teammate Nick, who didn't race tonight, so happy birthday to him. And then you guys for broadcasting, and Cody for the league.
All right, 10-4, man. Hopefully we'll be talking to you soon. Congrats again. Now, for the victor, Evan Black will talk to Michael Fenlison.
Well, Michael, that was a pretty interesting finish there. What are your thoughts after that race?
That Shane's a very clean racer, and I still love him, but that's usually how these hardline finishes go. It's usually whenever me and Shane are racing, we just put on a great finish somehow. I think that was just meant to be at the end. But obviously, I got to give him a shout out because when he did flip me on the front stretch, he pretty much slammed the brakes and let me have the win at that point. He obviously didn't mean that. It reminded me of what happened in the truck series here in Hardline about 2 years ago, and we were both racing the same exact way, and I hit him in turn 3 and pretty much almost spun him out, but I stopped and let him get the win, save it. So it's nice to see that sort of paid back to you, but I knew he was all over me that last run. I knew I was gonna have to work for it, and I saw him do the slide job and just try to get a run off, and that was a pretty eventful finish.
Yeah, you had 1 or 2 lap fresher tires there at the end. Do you think that's kind of what helped you get around them, or was it just raw speed there at the beginning?
It almost felt like my car handled better behind another car. Like early in the race when I was behind the 24 and the 95, I believe, I felt a whole lot better than I was when I got the lead. It just, behind people, I could easily judge. I don't know if it's just me judging off their lines and actually just finding a better line, but early in the race it wasn't really that because it was just one lane before you got the rubber in the whole racetrack and move up. And I think that final run, I don't think it was the fresher tires, because obviously at the beginning I think it was the fresh tires, because obviously you're going to have a few laps with fresh tires, but we obviously evened out there late because he was only 2 tenths behind me that pretty much whole run, and I think we're pretty much equal there. It's just a matter of first few laps of good life on the tire.
Alright, well, is there anyone you would like to thank or a shout out to after your win here in Vegas?
I gotta give a shout out to Mobile One for staying on this car for so long. New England Racing Fields, Sunoco Race Fields, Bass and all. Give a shout out to Shane and all of them, Bronson, and very clean racers, and glad to race them every week. It's very fun. It's just a one-off for me. I finally don't have to work tonight, so shout out to my job also for letting me race tonight, and shout out to Cody for putting on this league. It's always fun. I think that was my 18th career win, so I've been doing this for a while, and it just sucks recently I haven't been able to do it, but it's a great league. I love the run. It's a lot of fun.
All right, well, thanks for talking with us, and once again, congrats on your victory here at Vegas.
Thank you.
All right, so that is your top 3 finishers. So gave you the final result, so we'll wrap up coverage here tonight. Obviously, after that exciting finish, we have to thank everyone for tuning in and watching that live. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you enjoyed it if you're watching it on replay. But here are our sponsors here for PTR TV with Air Movement Fabrications, Krutz Custom Graphics, iBog, iRacing Broadcast Overlay Graphics, cameras provided by TrackCams 4 Gourmets. Again, thanks for tuning in to the coverage of the Hardline Racing League, the Midwest PowerSource Cup Series. Congrats again to Michael Fenlison and Shane Tarian for helping put on that finish and using that sportsmanship to not take the win away as we've seen in other leagues past. So, hope everyone enjoys the coverage. Stay tuned to the Hardline Racing League on Friday nights for the end of their 2018 A season, which goes to, I believe, the beginning of September. And stay tuned to LSR TV for our PTR TV on LSR TV coverage of the Integrity Race League and the American Sim Racing Series on Monday and Tuesday nights for all of 2018. Signing out of the booth is Corey Silva and Evan Black. Have a great night, everyone, and we'll catch you next time.
Have a good night, and we'll see you on Monday.